All right, so the negative 2 times 2 is, or negative 4 times 2 is what?
Negative 8.
Okay, then g squared times g to the first is what? G to the third. All right, then we do the same thing, but for the next term. So negative 4g squared times 7. Negative what?
28.
Not just negative 28, but negative 28 g squared. Because this one does not have a g, so we just take whatever this is.
Hey, Miss Dalton.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I went here yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Can you, like, instead of asking, can you just, like, the next one we do, like, break it down a little more?
Yes, ma'am. All right, so for number 7, okay, we're going to take and we're going to multiply negative 3n by n squared. So when we do that, we get negative 3 n to the third. And the reason we get that is because that n has an understood 1 right there. And so our negative 3 is just going to stay in front because there's nothing for us to multiply our negative 3 by. But then n times n squared, we have to add our exponent. So it'll be 1 plus 2, which gives us 3. All right, then for the next part, we're going to do negative 3n times negative 2n. So negative 3 times negative 2 gives us positive 6. N times n gives us n squared. Now we're going to look at negative 3n times 8. What is negative 3n? Or so negative 3 times 8 is what? Negative 24. Then this term here doesn't have an n, so I'm just going to bring over the other one. And that's all we got to do. Did that help, Miley?
Yes.
Stop writing the answers on my paper.
What? Ms. Dawn, what was your least favorite subject in high school?
English.
Me too.
And then chemistry.
No, I like it. That's my best. For me, it's like
I liked them both. I just didn't have good teachers for either, and so that made me not like them.
it's chem, math, and history.
Mine was math and history were my favorites.
My only class I like.
History is my
class I like. I would say.
You don't like Miss Stevens?
No, bro.
All right. So
She's a good teacher.
for the next one, we're gonna multiply these two. Okay. So our p term. So when I multiply p squared by p to the 5th, I have to add my exponent. So 2 plus 5 is.
7.
Okay. Now we're gonna do the same thing with q. So it'd be 3 plus 2 is.
5.
Perfect. That's all I got to do. Now I'm going to multiply those. So it will be negative. Both of those have an understood 1 as our exponent. So we'll get p to the
Third.
q to the
Third.
4th. Because 3 plus 1 gives us 4.
Oh, that's not a time we said that.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so how would you do the logs and how many of
We're going to look at it. All right. So for number 9, when we multiply, we really just multiply the terms that are similar and then add on anything that doesn't already have a pair with it. So what is 5 times negative 2? Negative 10. So we do negative 10, and then we're going to do r to the, and since this term doesn't have an s, we just bring down our s squared. Then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go to the next term. 5 times 3 is?
15.
R squared times r is going to give us r to the, yeah, r cubed, r to the 3rd. S squared times s is going to give us s to the 3rd. Because both of those have an understood 1. Then our last term, it will be negative 20. Is there anything for me to combine my r squared with?
So you just bring it down.
So I just bring it down. And then s squared times s squared is going to give us s to the
8. Oh, no, 4th.
4th.
What's like, how would you say 4th? You got cube.
To the 4th.
You just said to the 4th.
All right. Number 13. So for number 13, negative 7 times 9.
3.
Negative 63. Then we're going to get C to the D to the.
4.
Then we are going to look at.
Why were you not B?
Hmm?
Never mind.
Do you answer your own question?
Yeah, no, I just figured it out.
All right. Negative 7 times negative 4 is.
What negative? Oh, positive 28.
Because a negative and negative make a positive. Then we'll have C to the
4.
D to the 7th. There we go. All right. Now I want y'all to do.
Ooh.
Oh, look how cute the color is.
It's a rainbow.
Yeah, I was having fun with that.
Wait, was
Now
that
we're gonna do 2 through 14. Y'all do 2 through 14.
Gosh, just leave it up for the well.
Hey, one of my biggest comments was giving you more independent practice.
I definitely said that.
So that's what I'm doing. Ooh.
See, it did the same thing.
And whenever I give you practice like this, you can talk to the person next to you. That is a-okay. Like, you can ask the person next to you for help. Because sometimes your peer might have a different viewpoint on it than I do, and they can help you easier because you understand what they're saying better. Yes. Oh, correct. Yes, Brandon.
It's like just like possibly things to take about.
I'm not.
Is the first one?
I realized yesterday you were wearing like
I like
yellow
the first one.
would have yellow.
And I had a yellow sweater yesterday too. And then today I was wearing yellow. And smiling faces, courtesy of Madeline.
What's 18 times 2?
What do you think?
Hey, I have that.
I don't know, Madeline got me these. What was it?
I got it.
Yes.
Is the first one 9a squared plus 9a?
Oh, I did it right.
You did it wrong. Everyone did 9a squared plus 10. So you just got 9a. How many more of those? You got. Yeah.
Shut up.
It's called five.
I was dialing.
How many do you have?
Caramel.
Wait, this person
Chris, caramel or caramel? Is it caramel or caramel?
It's caramel.
Caramel.
No, it's caramel.
So like, how do you not?
There we go.
You're good.
Thank you. I mean, I kind of French.
Wait,
It's not even like a southern.
every time I think about it, it confuses me.
No, it's caramel.
Caramel is
I
it's
feel like I've never said
I got 3x to the third y plus 3x to the second y to the second.
There's no point in adding x.
Is it caramel or caramel?
It's caramel.
It's caramel.
Now listen,
Thank you, Miss Sullivan.
here's
Thank
the
you.
thing though.
Thank you.
If I'm just talking about caramel candy, I say caramel. But if I'm like ordering something with like
Caramel.
I say a caramel ice latte.
It's definitely
I say both, but most of the time I say caramel.
But like, do you see
You just have to appease both people.
Why is there a
You just can't make it something else.
I don't know, I say caramel. I'm Southern. I don't pronounce anything right, so I don't really think if my talking is good.
Caramel is way too complicated. But like, no, see, there's a A like the R.
Do your work.
Okay.
You're not even in the right math.
I don't have. It's a half caramel.
I asked 3 times. I had it balancing on Ramsey's head, and I said, "Does anyone else need this?" Did I not, Ramsey?
What'd you say?
Did I not have the paper sitting on your head and said, "Does anyone else need this?"
Yeah, you did.
Daniel, can you do your work, bro? Yo, Daniel. Yo, Vic, can you read? He took my caramel. I don't
See, caramel does just feel like a lot of syllables.
Exactly, it's unnecessary.
I say caramel real fast sometimes, and it comes out caramel, like camel, but with an R.
When I was younger, I used to say.
It's just faster. So.
All right. For number 2, what did y'all get for the answer of number 2?
9a squared plus 9a.
9a squared plus 9a. If y'all need me to stop and go through one of them, let me know when I get to it, okay? So for number 4, what do we do?
Negative
I got
6
negative
c to the 6 minus 15 c to the 5th.
Oh, 6.
Yeah, because that has an understood 1. So 5 plus 1 is 6. Then we'll get negative 15 c to the 5th. Because this term right here does not have c, so there's nothing for us to add our exponents with. We just bring out down c to the 5th. All right. Now let's look at 6. What do I do for 6?
What do you do if you get
Or I get x to the 3rd.
minus x to the 2nd plus 3x?
Woo.
Is it 3x to the second or no?
X to the left plus 3.
Okay, wait, what?
Do you put an exponent of 2 on a 3x or no?
No, because 3 doesn't have an x already there, so you just bring down the 1x.
Okay.
Why isn't it 2x squared for the first one?
Right here. So because there's no number in front of it, we don't need a number in front. Because that's 1 times 1. And 1 times 1 is 1. For number 8.
Negative 12x to the 6 minus 24x to the...
I got plus 24x.
Yeah, plus 24x to the 5th
6x to the 4th.
minus
36.
negative and a negative make a. So because negative 2 and negative 12, we're going to have a positive 24. And then you said negative what?
36 to the x to the 4th.
Perfect.
It's okay, I had it.
It's the glasses that are keeping, like, why? How do you have them? How are they staying up here?
I don't know.
Please pay attention. I don't know how they're staying up there. Anyways, now for 10, what should we get for 10?
3x to the 3rd y plus 3x to the 2nd y to the 2nd plus 3xy to the 3rd.
That was a lot of seconds and thirds. I don't like that.
All right. Did anybody not get that? Do I need to go over this one?
That one's easy.
All right. For 12,
Unless someone else answers.
it is 12a. What's 12a to the what?
Third.
3rd, because this a has a 1 and that one has a 2. So 1 plus 2 is. Then we get b
So third. Do you do b to the third?
on
A, B.
the first one we just do b. Then on the second one we get a b to the 4th.
You finish your test.
All right, for number 14. So negative 20 m to the
5th to
n to the
4th plus 30m to the 4th with n to the 2nd.
Period, guys.
that is how we do it.
Good job.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I want us to go ahead and just talk about number 15. So number 15, all it does is add an additional step to it. We're still distributing. It's just got something outside the distributing that we're gonna have to add at the end.
So it's gonna be like 2 steps.
Pretty much. So let's look at this one. So I'm gonna start with my distribution. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say negative 2x times 3x, which gives us what? Negative 6x squared. Okay, then we need to distribute
Plus 8
right there. So we negative 2 and negative 4 make a
positive.
positive 8x. And then at the end down there, I just have that plus 7x that I need to bring in. Okay, so to write my answer in standard form, which of those terms needs to go first?
8x.
No.
Negative 6x.
Yep, negative 6x squared, right?
8x and 7x.
Then I combine 8x and 7x. When I say 8x plus 7x, what do I do? 15x. So that's our answer.
Minus negative 6x.
It goes first because the exponent's the biggest. So with polynomials, we write it in standard form with our exponents going from biggest to smallest. And And so we go from the biggest exponent to the smallest.
And then if like you just got letters in the alphabetical order.
Correct.
No.
That's fine. All right, let's go to the back page. We're gonna look at 17. Okay, for 17. All right, let's do first part. Y times Y is, okay, Y times 4 is, now we're going to do the second half. Negative Y times Y is going to be, then we have negative Y times negative 3. Yeah, positive 3Y. And then, what do I need to do with that negative Y there at the end? Drop it down. Okay, now, what term needs to go first?
To the second.
Yeah, we have Y to the second and negative Y to the second. What is Y squared minus Y squared?
0.
0. It effectively cancels out. Then what should I do next? Because those are all like terms. So 4 plus 3 is what?
7.
What is 7 minus 9? So negative 2Y is our answer. All right. Number 19. We just simplify once we get it all distributed. Okay, number 19. 12xy. Because that's what we get for doing that. Negative 8 x squared y squared. Because both of those y's have a 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2. Then I bring down everything else.
This is difficult.
All right, so alphabetical order, x goes before y. So which term has the biggest x exponent?
13x squared y squared and 8 negative.
Those two, right? Those are like terms. If I say negative 8 plus 13, what do you get?
5.
So we get 5 x squared y squared. Then what term would go next?
12xy.
So we do plus 12xy
Minus 6.
minus 6. That is our answer. All right. So instead of us going and doing all of those examples, because they're kind of similar to what we've done already, we're going to do 21 on our own. You are going to do 21 on your own. Just make sure you distribute all the things. All the things get distributed.
Almost got it fine.
Okay.
I just need to know who did it. One into decimal is 0.6 or 0.2. Oh, by the way, think about it down here because you said you were gonna. I'll just stay.
I need a calculator.
See, you can't round while doing that.
Sorry, what?
Can you?
Sorry.
Oh, I got this. How do we all get it?
Like
Kipping number? Huh?
When you tell Pippin I call him dumbo. Hey.
This was difficult. I didn't like it.
He said he thinks you're freaking stupid.
No, you gotta say it right.
He said he thinks you're fucking
Hey, watch the
Let's look. Okay, so, shh. Okay, so we're going to do negative 3v, or not 3, negative. 3v times 7v is 21v squared. 3v times negative 2 is? Okay, now we have to go to the next term. So 3 times v squared is? Then 3 times 2v is? 3 times 1 is? Negative 3v times negative 5v is? Positive 15v squared. Negative 3v times 3 is? Okay, so that's what we should have right now.
I love your color.
Thank you. All right. I wish I could write with yellow, but I cannot. Makes me sad. You can't see it. I'll do that later. All right, so now, okay, what is our, to go standard form, we need the biggest exponent first. So what's our biggest exponent we got? Squared. So we're going to do 21v, 3v, and 15v squared.
I got 39v squared.
So we get 39v squared.
Minus 9v.
Okay. So we have, how do you get the minus 9v? What terms did you combine to get there?
I canceled out my v, 6v, and negative 6v, and I dropped down the 9.
Yep. Because effectively negative 6 and positive 6v cancel out. And we get negative 9v plus 3. You were wrong. I'm so sorry.
I'm the good. I was right.
I was confused with why. I didn't know if we were
Give me that, man.
But that is what we do. Okay, now I want us to go to the next page.
I'm just gonna skip over the geometry lesson.
For right now, yes.
I like these packages better than the ones we did last time.
All right. This just puts everything in a more digestible format, I personally feel like. But, you know. All right. So, multiplying binomials. Okay, we're going to be multiplying 2 binomials. Okay, so multiplying binomials. The way you do that, okay, is a very, very common phrase you've probably heard before. It is the FOIL thing.
No, never heard of it.
Okay, it's where you go the first term. So first to the first term to the outer term, the inner terms together, and then the last terms together. First inside, outside, or first outside, inside, last. Okay, which is ridiculous, right? It's a whole lot going on. Now, listen, even in my grown age where I have been doing math for a long time now, right? The way that I do this every single time is I still draw my little rainbows. Because it helps me know what I have already multiplied and what I still need to multiply. Because the more things you add into the problem, the more confusing it can get. If you're not keeping up with what you've already done and what you still need to do. So like for instance, I'm going to show y'all something. Where's this at? Homework 3. Okay. Do y'all see this craziness that's happening down here? Okay. When I was doing this, I literally was sitting there going, the entire time. I was doing that every single time. You know why? Because there's so many terms happening here that it's really, really, really easy to get confused. Okay? That was my homework, yes.
Oh my
So,
gosh. So your teachers like your colors?
They do. One of my teachers thinks I'm very extra because I've had her. This is the second time I've had her now, and she loved it. We just did one where I had to do a problem about dominoes, and I drew it on my dominoes. She says, "Your sketch is wicked," and I was like, "Thank you." Yes, Ramsey. Yeah. All right. And she does tell me all the time it makes it so much easier to understand what I'm doing because I color code everything. But anyways.
Wait, where do you go to school?
I am getting my master's at South.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You have to go?
Just to math classes. All right, anyways, let's do this problem. So we're going to do x times x. Okay, we're going to start with that. Which is what?
2x.
X squared.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we're going to take that same x and we're going to go over. What is x times 4?
4x.
Okay, then we're going to do 2 times x. What is 2 times x?
2x plus 8.
Then we're going to do 2x times, or 2 times 4, which is?
8. Sorry.
And so that lets us do each piece of it. Y'all see that? And so now we just combine any like terms we have. What like terms do we have? 4x and 2x. So we will get x squared plus 6x plus 8 is our answer. Because all we did was combine those two terms.
Does it matter what order that's in?
The
Bottom one?
yes, we have to have in standard form. Okay, we should always answer in standard form.
Other than that where it says like different.
So for this one, okay, we're going to do 2x times x to get what? Then we're going to go 2x times negative 5 to get?
Negative 10.
Yep, not just negative 10, but negative 10 x. Because that's 2x times negative 5. So the 2 and the negative 5 gives you the negative 10, but we got to still bring that x. So 1 times x is? 1x or x.
Minus
1 times negative 5 is? Negative 5. What can I combine? So when I do that, I get 2x squared minus 5. And that is my answer. All right, so we're going to look at the odd ones of these together. All right. So number 1. 1 or y times y is, okay, then we're going to do y times 1 is 8 times y is, yep, how'd you get that though?
8 times 1.
Yep, which is 8. So what can I combine? What pieces?
Y and 8.
And so I get y squared. Perfect. That's our answer. Now I want you to do number 2 for me real quick.
Number 2.
Yes.
Okay, somebody put this there.
Yes, ma'am. You need me?
Yeah, too.
Jumps to the nose.
So do your first time. All right.
Plus K plus minus 1.
So for number 2, what do I do first?
K times K, so it's K squared.
Perfect.
Then you do X times
Yeah, k times 5 to get
5k. 4 times negative 4 times k.
to get
Negative 4k. And then you negative 4 times 5 is negative 4.
all right. I mean, I can combine what terms?
5k negative 4k.
So we get k squared
Plus k minus
perfect.
Doesn't matter if we had a 1 in front of that.
If you had a 1 in front of that k, no, it's still correct because it is 1k. It's just is that 1 necessary? Yeah. All right, so let's do the odds of these. Okay. So x times x is, okay, then we're going to do x times negative 4. Negative 4x. Negative 10 times x. What is plus 40? Because a negative and a negative make a positive. So does me color coding it actually help so you can see what parts go? Okay. Now, for this part, what can I combine?
Negative 4 and negative 2.
Okay, so we get x squared
Is it? Yeah, minus 14 x plus 40.
plus 40. All right. Now let's look at number 5. 4x times x is,
4x squared.
okay. 4x times 3 is
7. Sorry, 12.
12x.
I keep adding.
That's okay. Negative 7 times x. Negative 7 times 3. All right, what can I combine? So we get 4x squared plus 5x minus 21. Yes, ma'am. Let's go ahead and flip to the back of this. All right, I want us to talk about a few questions back here. We're going to look at 15 and 17. Okay, do y'all see how those are written differently? What does it mean to square something? What are you doing? Multiplying it by itself. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have to actually show out that we are multiplying it by itself. We have to show that distribution. We have to show that we're multiplying it by itself. Okay? The reason we have to do that is because we have to make sure we're multiplying every single term. What you cannot do, I cannot stress this enough, you cannot just say x squared and 4 squared. That will give you the wrong answer. Okay? You're missing a whole term in the middle. So we have to show that we're splitting it up like that. Okay? Once we split it, we can do x times x to get, and then we'll do x times 4 to get 4x. 4 times x to get 4 times 4 to get 16. Okay, then I can combine my like terms, right? And get x squared plus 8x plus 16. Okay, because if I was to just square each of those terms, what term would I miss? I'd miss the 8x, right? We have to make sure we write it out with 2 terms and actually distribute the whole thing. Okay? I don't care if you think you can remember it in your head and do it, just writing it out. I want you to show this step. Okay? I know how easy it is to forget that step. I have graded a lot of math tests in the last 5 years. Do you know how many times I've seen that mistake get made of not multiplying this 2 pieces? A lot. So many times.
Hey, why do you have to do, you probably already said this, why do you have to do that twice?
Why do I have to write it out twice?
Yeah.
Because we are multiplying it by itself. So we should have it.
Oh, because it's squared, okay.
And if it was to the 3rd power, we would do it 3 times.
Yeah.
And so on. Okay? It gets a little crazy the more you do it. But like,
Are you going to put on the test, do it like to the 12th power?
no, ma'am. I'm not going to ask you to do that. That gets to be ridiculous multiplication that I don't even want to do. I'm not going to ask you to do it. So let's go ahead and look at number 17. So for 17, okay, what do I need to do first?
Split them apart.
Split them apart. So I get 2m minus 5 times 2m minus 5. And what should I start with multiplying? 2m times 2m is? Then I need to multiply 2m by? Negative 5. What is 2m times negative 5? Negative 10m. Now we're going to do negative 5 times 2m to get?
Negative 10.
Negative 10m. Negative 5 times negative 5 is?
Plus 25.
Plus 25. What can I combine?
Oh, you can combine your 10m.
So I get 4m squared minus
20m.
20m
Plus 25.
plus 25. All right. Y'all are responsible for doing 4 through 18 even. Okay, so I want you to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions for me. Now, I have a sheet that I can print off that's got you doing 30. Would you rather do that?
No.
Okay. Do 4 through 18 even, please. Huh? Yes, I can.
Only even though. Yeah.
Yeah. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Right, so this one.
What, is that it for today?
Yes, it is. We just have table. Okay. So, what is your starting point? But that's not what we would put. We would use the Y. So what do you start with? And then to get B, what do you put to go between 2 and 8? What do you go from 8 to 32? So what would be B? Now you just write your explanation.
So like next equation?
Yes, ma'am. But not the A one.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to go over this one, so we do 5x times, oh, good gracious. 5x times x, and that'll give us 5x squared. Okay, then we're going to do 5x times negative y, which will give us negative 5xy. Then we'll do these two. So we'll get 4xy. And then 4 times negative y will give us negative 4y squared. Do you see that? So in the terms that don't already have an x or a y, we will just write them both. And then our like terms we can combine is our negative 5x and our 4. So we get our 5x squared minus xy minus 4y squared.
Wait, so why wouldn't it be x?
Why is the y squared all the way to the back?
Because we go alphabetical order.
Oh, alphabetical.
So we have to go x squared, x, then no x.
Wait, so alphabetical order
Ramsey, can you
first.
sit down, please?
Why wouldn't it be x squared y squared?
Because we have to keep, so our alphabetical order will trump the order of x on this. So then once it's alphabeticalized, we have to do x, then y, right? And so x will have to go from biggest to smallest before y does.
So it would help if we put all our variables down and then our exponents afterwards. So we get it in alphabetical order and then we get.
Ooh. Be careful with that, because that's how you easily miss the exponent, because you just miswrote it. It's best to go, okay, what's my biggest, figure out x or y, which one goes first? X. Okay, then you would say, what's my biggest exponent? Put that. What's my next biggest exponent? Put that.
So you're out of x's.
Until you're out of x's. And usually when you run out of x's, it'll just be whatever the term is in your y. But literally go down your list of X's. So X is biggest X. X is next biggest X. X is next biggest X.
It smells like bacon. Or that awesome jelly.